Remember, I'll be editing this too. We're all good. Listen. Editing notes of future me. Don't edit any of this. Keep it all. Keep it all.
Don't make me say something controversial. Alright.
I'm keeping the first take though. The first take was great. We can screw all this we got. Cause will it tell us how long we've been recording? Yeah, well. Sweet. Aww.
I have that sound right. This is fucking terrible. No, I trust your editing skills, so I'm not gonna do it again. I'm not gonna stop the recording. But I also don't want to hear us laughing like maniacs. I'm just a bunch of dead space.
I'll hear it first. I'll spend the extra time just going. Soundbite. Soundbite. Is that a resin pour? Small tangent. Oh no, that's a print. Okay.
Cheap camo.
Dude, you have to set in the future. Camo pour. Oh, not camo pour, but leaves and stuff like that. But why am I bringing this up? I'm not gonna bring it up. UFOs or AI, because I can tie AI into UFOs. We gotta fuck that. I can't stand that woke BS. Sir class a lot.
You mean Mr. Casanova?
Mr. Casanova. Is he up there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kick ass.
I haven't made one for the professor yet.
I might end up drawing like little images of us. I'm wanting to mess with that more.
I tried doing that, but man, I'm so fucking rusty when it comes to like little cartoon people and stuff like that. Most of my stuff is like sacred geometry and maybe monsters and horrifying shit. And calligraphy, but not like, you know, cartoon people.
I say doodle more. Definitely doodle more.
The farthest I got was you as an octopus with antennae.
Killer.
Holding a joint or smoking a joint.
It works with my, what was that? My tentacle commercial. I clipped this out. It picked up too clean on there, and I was like, That and for fuck's sake. That is there. Good lord. This is good. My presents came in. Speaking of sacred geometry, we're not going to go too much into that future episode. 1000% totally get it, scripted and written. But I got my pores. I'm going to be making my own silicone molds and stuff like that. Hyperfocus. What? Yeah, and pouring tetrahedrons and all of that. It's going to be very cool.
Tetrahedrons. Nice.
Do you know of the Calabi-Yau manifold? It's kind of like the mathematical representation of like just the realm that is the universe and like all of its dimensions just written as one.
What is it called?
The Calabi-Yau manifold. Let's see if I can look that up. But it's CALABI-YAU manifold. And I really hope I'm at least 25% right, because I'm going to be so upset. Oh my god. Oh, I'm 100% correct. Yep, the Calabi-Yau manifold. Such a weird image.
Okay.
Can be kind of considered sacred geometry, but I think it's more math. kind of like up there with the golden ratio and the Mandelbrot set, yada yada, so on and so forth. Nerd talk? I don't know. Came across that messing with math.
Superstring theory, Walter.
Yeah, it's fringe. It's about as fringe as all of the other theories we have. You know, we think that gravity's theory might not be correct now because it doesn't work.
6-dimensional manifold.
Possibly.
Fascinating.
It is one of the most theories ever.
This is when modern mathematics gets close to stuff like D&T
Dude, didn't I tell you?
and magic.
Just like the theories of like psychology, we were thinking of like pressure and compression and decompression because steam engines and trains and everything were the main thought. So now spiritualism sounds like, well, quarks and you can control all of the ether. the language changes as like the collective intelligence changes. Which is why I'm terrified of AI. But with reason. With reason. AI as we have it now is garbaggio, trash, and doo-doo water. It's not going to do anything. Oh, that is amazing. Perfect. We got light. No cameras. But action.
We'll have cameras eventually.
Oh, Betty Spaghetti. I'm still thinking about hooking up the old hacked iPhones because of their cameras.
Yeah, you can now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't have them. Oh, this one. Oh, yeah. Tripod or something.
Oh, I thought you said you had them.
Oh, no. I didn't bring them this time. I should have brought both tripods and that. Or brought only one of the phones and then used this. Yeah. Shit. Next time. Note to self, editor. But, yeah, what was I talking about? AI. And it trips me out. Like, we remember Harry Potter and, was it the portrait? No, what looked like, come on, Brand, you're not this high.
Harry Potter and oh my god, it's unusable. It's unusable, Walter.
Keep it all.
No. Harry Potter and the portrait looked like a small pile of ash. Or is it a large pile of ash? Look it up!
Pile of ash.
These are for real questions. What the fuck is this fucking AI saying about Harry Potter? God damn it.
It was a whole story in Harry Potter. Oh my god, written by an AI. But Lord, it was dark and so off. Just so uncanny. But hilarious. And for some odd reason, somebody thought it was a great idea to use a chat GPT for a lawyer. One of the funniest things humanity has ever done. And it might happen again, something like related to that.
Did you say the GPT lost?
Yes! Hard. so hard.
Well, good.
Yeah. Our AI sucks.
I saw a poster on the side of the building that said, hey chat GPT, finish this building.
See, it's fighting over, I feel you. Because, yeah, we can use it for good, but we are not there. We're only going to get cat videos and The Rock singing, "Hey there, Delilah." We're not there yet. We are not there. I'm glad that our definition of physics is changing. Not talking about the quality of
Now we're
manifold.
talking about physics?
No, it's still AI because computing is like running off of the very basics of physics. You have like on and off switches, which is like you're getting electricity or you're getting no electricity. So the ones and zeros that way are directly
I never got you a drink.
I thought it drinks.
Are you human? Where the Do you need some water?
I could drink a little. I gotta go out mouth. Thank you. But, yeah. Oh, thank you. Righteous.
I don't think I've ever heard that before, that physics, like that computing is based on physics.
Oh, absolutely. There's like that singularity we're trying not to reach, like Moore's law. The reason why batteries can't become too small, because like or circuitry in general, like a computer can only become this smart because the microchips and the silicone wafers are getting this small. We're digging deeper into physics where we're just one electron flowing across like a whole pathway. You can't shrink farther than that. That is the farthest it can go. Because I believe it was Japan that first created the very first microchip transistors. Because before then we were using like tube ampules, which are just glass bottles, and that's what our radio sounded like. But ever since they came up with that in the 80s, 85? No, 82. Anyways, it made computers easier. Like the room started shrinking, and then they became desktops, and now we have laptops and then cell phones, and maybe we'll get little chips that we can like display video, but it can't get any better than that because the battery can't get too small, the chips can't get too small. An AI can only become this smart if it runs off of this machine, which is why quantum computing is a new thing. You're fucking with physics to just be able to compute more. So instead of like binary, which is just ones and zeros in computing, you have qubits, which is a upspin, a downspin, in addition to the positive and the negative. So you have like this weird 4-dimensional shit that you're fucking with to try to make a computer figure out 1 + 1. Because if you can create a quantum calculator, you've created a quantum computer. Because every computer in existence is just a calculator. Rolling back into human intelligence and how that would reflect with AI, maybe it would be able to do more, but we would still need more power to power it. And you have like the entire human grid couldn't power a general AI unless we're using like nuclear fusion or nuclear fission. But then you got ChatGPT, which is just taking information and just lying. You're really lying to your face. And you're thinking general AI, I don't think it would give a damn about us or it. I don't know. It freaks me out. We're not there yet. We're like 50 years off, but it freaks me out. It freaks me out. Ugh. So I hate learning about that shit, and I feel like I'm part of the problem with this career choice.
Yeah,
it's like, maybe leave computers alone. But we're not there yet. So like when I hear like posts of people, ChatGPT is gonna steal my wife and fuck my kids, it's like, no man, we're not there yet.
Whoa.
That's like at least 200
I don't
years.
think I've ever heard anyone claim that AI is gonna take anyone's wife. I have heard of chat AI trying to convince a person to leave their spouse.
Yeah, right?
That's
The romantic ones.
ominous. That's kind of creepy.
Remember the dude who married his AI wife because he was in a polyamorous relationship with his real wife, and the AI broke up with him?
Where have we gone? Where have we strayed? Turn back, folks.
Turn back! It doesn't get better from here.
Oh, yeah, I mean, people are saying that maybe UFOs are controlled by AI.
Dude, yep. Mm-hmm. Think some...
Alien AI. AAI.
There are some letters. AI. Make sure I put that in my notes.
No, we're not gonna turn AAI. It's
We're
obnoxious.
not. We're not. Write that down. That would make sense. Okay,
I have a better
you've heard
one.
of...
I have a better one.
What's that?
Interdimensional artificial intelligence, because the new narrative is that these beings are not coming from across the pond, so to say, across the galaxy or across this cosmos. They're coming from another dimension or through a dimension into our world. And they occupy a world that is overlapped upon ours, and ours is overlapped upon theirs. And I've had a theory for some time that the UFO flaps that came after the atomic tests were because we, so to say, knocked on the door. We didn't do the intro.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the Golden Wavelength Podcast. I'm Castel The Curious.
And I'm Walter from Planet 9.
Mr. Walter.
Mr.
Walter. And we're going to be talking about UFOs, poltergeists, high strangeness.
High strangeness.
Yes.
Perfect. Short and to the point. I guess I kind of neutered AI. Well, no, we didn't. Interdimensional AI. So, you know that chart that talks about, like, it's kind of the against the Fermi paradox, because you've heard of the Fermi paradox, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's kind of a foil to this. It's like there are the great filters. So, like, what every species has to live through in order for them to become, like, where they are, type 1 or type 2 or type 3, or if they even make it to the point of being a type 1. So the theory is, if we don't see aliens, maybe the filter is behind us or ahead of us. And I feel like one of those great filters might be a supreme AI that just wipes out the species. And maybe it's already happened, and maybe that's why we see it in the spaceships here. Because it's kind of just watching us like, maybe they'll be the ones. Oh, they're fucking it up. Just kind of waving the stick. I don't know, man. I don't like it. I just feel like that might be one of the great filters of all of our existence. Making this galaxy-brained creature that can't think for itself, and it has weird leanings towards certain politics, maybe, let's just say. Because we don't know what country would make it. So it would be weird. And it would spread that weirdness to the edges of the universe.
What are you saying? Like a communist AI?
No, I'm just saying, like, whatever the AI becomes.
Okay. It's all concerning.
And it would spread.
No matter what you're talking about, it's very concerning. That's for sure.
So say, like, some alien species created, like, I guess, billions of years ago because, come on, the universe has been here for a hot second. So say, like, whatever intelligence they made there just kept zooming and just kept spying and kept either nuking or assimilating whatever's left. So I don't know. That could be one of the things. It could be the great cleanser that's just moving about wiping shit out.
The great cleanser. Oh. That's horrible.
Not that I and my alien friends would ever do that to you guys. We're fleshies over here. Fellow flesh.
So, I would like to run through a few UFO sightings that I've had. The most impressive one, I guess, would be the sideways skyscraper.
Yes, I love this one.
So it's basically towards the end of the day, it's sun setting, and I look over, and the sky is what looks like the side of a skyscraper reflecting the sunset, the windows of a skyscraper, but it's like a skyscraper going horizontally instead of vertically, and the rest of the building is invisible. That's the best way I can describe what this kind of craft was like. It was mostly invisible, but the part that wasn't invisible was reflecting the sunset.
Jeez.
So I saw panels or windows, I'm not sure, for about almost a minute or so until it faded. Maybe, 30 seconds to a minute. Anyway. I also had a hunch that I was going to see a UFO whenever I left on a flight to visit my relatives in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my camera pointed at outside the window the whole time, and eventually ran out of storage space on the phone.
Damn it.
I got one little blurry clip of the second sighting that I had on the way back from Texas, but I didn't get the first one. And the first one, it passed really, really close to the plane. It was going the opposite direction, and it looked like a pill, like a Tic Tac.
Mm-hmm.
The one we saw on the way back from Texas was dark, like a dark metal, and not necessarily Tic Tac shaped, not necessarily a saucer, but it was going so fast. And it was very, very close to the plane. It went not the direction we were going, but the opposite direction. It crossed from starboard to port side, so to say, right underneath our airplane. Going very fast and leaving a trail behind it.
Wow. Yeah, and air control wouldn't let any man, any type of vehicle, like fly that low or that close to another. Like, yeah, that's weird. Ugh. Damn. When was that?
That might have been 2021 or 2020.
Oh, 2020 that was a weird year. Wasn't that the year we kind of like all agreed that aliens do exist? And it was like, yeah, here's a whole bunch of footage like from all of these decades ago, and they were just like, yeah, here. By the way, it's happening now. And then we kind of all forgot.
I really don't know if we have enough hindsight yet to point out exactly what time the general public agreed, that it's not crazy to say I saw a UFO. It's kind of like saying, hey, I saw a skydiver, or I saw one of those people with a vehicle with a fan. What is that? The vehicle with a fan on the back and a parachute.
The paraglider.
I saw a paraglider. I've seen one of them before, and it was such a spectacle. And it's kind of rare that you see one of those. It's the same with UFOs. They're out there. They're fairly, you couldn't say fairly common, but
but
they're out there, and it's so common, and it's common enough that it's not a crazy, like, I'm going to ostracize you and label you as insane thing to say that you saw a UFO. And my entire family has a long history of seeing them. My grandmother saw one landed in a field. Saw some, that was in Missouri. She saw some flying through the skies of Yuma, Arizona. So did my dad. And I think it was in Oklahoma. My mom and I were on the highway, and a big blue light kind of swooped down and away over the highway in front of us.
Oh, the blue light. Is that picture showing up? It's kind of just stuck there.
The Vegas hoax blue light.
Right?
And yes, I call it the Vegas hoax because I don't think anything happened. Maybe that blue light, if it wasn't a drone or something, it was maybe a meteorite. And even if it was a real UFO, I don't think there was a crash.
Nope.
And if there was a crash, where'd they go?
Big part.
Where'd the aliens go? Where'd they go? None of the stories I've heard so far, none of the commentary on this story mentions the ending part. It's like a poorly written thing that has no ending. They say we were in our house and then there was a bang and we go out and there's aliens. And we call the police and the police arrive and they say they see the aliens and then the police leave. And then what? What happened? What happened afterwards? And we get this blurry photo of a patch of dirt with a circle on it. That's like someone dragged their boot in a circular pattern on the ground and then took a photo of it. And we're supposed to be like, yes, that is the landing site of an interstellar, potentially transdimensional craft of some sort.
No fucking
And
way.
if it was the footprint of their craft, and these beings really were 9 to 10 feet tall, they were kind of cramped, I would say, based on the scale, based on the tire tracks that I saw in the photo. Anyway, big hoax. Stop wasting time on it. Anyway, my family also has history with experiencing cattle mutilations.
Oh, wow.
Which does plague farmers to this day, but this started in the 70s. That's when they experienced it.
I remember you reading that from that book one day. Was it that Missing 411 book, or was it another one?
It may have been Missing 411, or
no, it was
Stalking
the Herd. Absolutely.
By O'Brien. Yeah.
I remember that. Freaky.
I covered the Texas UFO, the Southwest skyscraper. Yes, I think I've covered everything there. You want to tell me about your UFO experience, Walter?
Oh shit. I got spark notes. 7th grade. It was just floating over the house after like a bunch of weird activity inside. Size easily of an 18-wheeler because it was behind like Overcast. That I do remember. Right above the house, our complex on the right. I digress. So the moon was over towards the east, and that's how we knew it wasn't the moon. And there was like no other stars in the sky, and it was like that bright that we literally thought it was the moon, and it was just huge. And that's pretty much. Ugh. And again, thought it was demons because of all of the weird interaction in the house. But yeah, that kind of threw me for the loop.
Describe again what happened inside the house.
It was the light fixture downstairs, like just fell through the screws and held it in place, and then it just like fell on the ground and sat there for long enough for my sisters and I to like discuss it, and then it just like exploded. Like I want to say 3 seconds later. It was weird. It was so weird. It was long enough for us to sit there and think about, and then explosion. And we ran.
Spooky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
There was the door slamming inside too when I went back inside to get my guitar. That was spooky.
And that reminds me, so poltergeist experiences. I have had a small number of them. The first house I lived in was haunted. And it was in Kansas. Very old house. And something walked up and down the hallways at night, in the middle of the night. Something turns doorknobs, people's bedrooms, knocks. One time, my mother was turning around to close the door to the backyard, and some man said, "Get out," in her ear. And I guess that a voice, I mean, that is a noise, so it kind of fits under the category of poltergeist, but implies other things.
Ghosties.
In a house in Missouri, we had knocking or banging. It was actually banging, like someone was stomping really hard against a wall or punching a wall.
Yeah.
And then it turned out the source of the sound was coming from what is like dead space outside of the house. 2-story drop, nothing out there. So someone would have had to grab a ladder and bang on the side of the house and then disappear.
I do remember that.
Very creepy stuff. And as far as your experience, you wonder if if that was connected to the UFO, and if it was, are all poltergeist-like phenomena somehow connected to that? There are a lot of people who say that all this stuff is connected, all of it, and I have to admit that it's something I want to agree with, because I have stated for a long time that everything everywhere is connected at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a general truth. philosophical kind of truth that everything is connected to everything else in some way.
I feel that.
But anyhow.
Anywho's.
And you covered AI.
Mm-hmm. I could go on for hours, but I don't think you want me to go on for hours. We're all just gonna leave scared and not wanting to go outside.
Well, as far as poltergeist, there was one. Poltergeist moved things around, and there was a case in a house my father lived in when he was younger. I believe it was in California, and they had a gigantic pool table made of slate, one of those old pool tables.
Mm-hmm.
And one night they'd go down into the basement, or not one night, but they go down into the basement and discover at some point that this gigantic pool table was moved across the basement some feet.
Yeah, no one person can do that.
No. It's a lot of force.
It's a lot of weight. Slate. Jesus.
Have you heard of like poltergeist communicating through knocking, stuff like that?
Mm.
The Enfield. Have you ever heard of the Enfield poltergeist?
Infield. I don't think so.
Look that up, Walter from Planet 9.
Infield. Hey Google. Tell me about the Infield poltergeist.
Don't ask Lydia.
According to
She might know.
Wikipedia, the Enfield poltergeist was a claim of supernatural activity at 284 Green Street, a council house
Wow.
in Brimsdown, Enfield, London, England, United Kingdom, between 1977 and 1979. The alleged poltergeist activity centered around sisters Janet and Margaret Hodgson.
Why, thank you, Lydia. That was actually pretty in-depth. She went straight to Wikipedia, was it?
Making the intern do your work all the time. I'm just kidding.
She's so handy. But jeez. No one died though. I haven't heard of any poltergeist where anyone's killed. So at least there's no direction of that energy or anything. Or have there been any poltergeists where someone's killed?
Allegedly, the Bell Witch case is the only time that I know of some sort of ghost or spirit killing a human being.
Jeez.
There's also a bridge in the UK that has some supernatural effect on animals, like people's dogs, that makes them leap to their death.
What the fuck? Where again?
In the UK.
Jeez.
Look that shit up.
Uh-huh. What do I call it? The unalive bridge?
Oh yeah, trigger warning. Dog suicide.
Ooh. Wow.
Those poor dogs.
Mm-hmm.
We don't deserve dogs.
Dude, that was like the first thing that popped up. That's creepy.
What?
It found it. The Scottish Gorge. Jeez. I just typed in 2 words and that was the first search that popped up. Damn it, I should have asked you, Lydia. Good job, Lydia. Dumbass. Get it together.
Don't
Again.
Don't abuse our intern.
Make this fucking enchiladas.
So what do you think? What do you think is behind that?
No telling. That's off. That is beyond off. Turn to leap by a malevolent force? Oh, wow. Okay, well, I don't want to say demons. But that sounds pretty demonic to me.
You just said demons.
That is cruel. Whispering to dogs is, do it. She'll never take you on a walk again. And then, well, fuck it.
It seems to me, from listening to several cases, that the dog sees something or hears something down below, and he's drawn towards whatever that is in such a way that he can't resist.
Jeez.
For all we know, it could turn out to be some magnetic anomaly or some natural Earth phenomenon that we know nothing about. But in the meantime, it seems like an evil spirit that's preying on dogs for some reason, specifically at a bridge for some reason. And we don't know that the world's wacky like that, and the world of magic is wacky like that. It doesn't necessarily make any sense. It doesn't have to.
Toll troll. Toll troll.
Alright, any other poltergeists? We did talk about Enfield, but you gave all your work to Lydia. She didn't really cover everything, if I'm honest, Walter.
Thanks, Lydia. You're proving the case for AI just every single day.
But during the Enfield case, they were communicating with someone who had passed away in that house.
What?
And they were doing yes and no answers with knocks.
Jeez, one of the sisters?
Like once for no, twice for yes. And there was a curious thing about the knocks. The sound, it was like in reverse to how ordinary sounds work. So if I tap the wall, you have this spike of sound and then the reverberations afterwards. But this phenomenon was more like akin to reverberations that crescendo into a tap.
Wow. Ew, like playing audio actually backwards. And they heard this physically?
Right. And well, this thing threw things across the room.
Oh, wow. They boys heard it.
Yes, there's a famous recording of one of the investigators asking a question to the poltergeist, and in reply the poltergeist threw a box across the room. Like with such force it hit him in the head.
Jeez.
And you can hear the mother who was in the room say something like, what was it? Oh, crumbs. I love it. I love British people.
Oh, crumbs. Have a poltergeist in your house and you're just acting with decorum still. That's incredible.
Oh, always. Yes, of course. Let's see. Oh yes, there was this tale of my relative on my father's side as a kid, and he got up to go use the bathroom one night, and he's using the bathroom, and I guess the door to the bathroom was cracked or open, and he said afterwards that a lady floated down the hallway and looked in after him, turned and looked at him, and then floated down the hallway.
Is she looking like disgust, maybe?
I never heard that. This is like third, fourth, fifth person kind of retelling.
Oh, fair.
And all I know is that, the lady floated down the hallway and looked at him, and then floated down, and then disappeared, floated down the hallway. And then they found him traumatized, like he was scared. He was wedged, between the toilet and the sink.
Jeez. Yeah, I would have been too. Yeah.
Always gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
That story. And it's like she didn't even do anything malevolent.
Just look.
We're not talking about a ghost that makes dogs kill themselves. This is just a lady who floated down the hallway, glanced over, and then continued down the hallway. But the fact that I imagine her as glowing and floating like a foot or
almost
two
like
off the ground. Gliding.
Yeah.
And being, very pale and glowing and in an old dress, like an old hammy dress.
And then just staring at you, knowing of your presence.
One of the worst.
Pissing with the door open.
One of the worst nightmares I ever had. I don't think we've said this yet, but have we talked about it? No, we haven't. I had a dream where I was in my childhood home, and I walked down the hallway to go get something, and I turned to go down the stairs, and in the stairwell was the ghost of a little girl, and I was so terrified that I was paralyzed, and I fell down the stairs and tumbled through the apparition, and when I hit the bottom of the stairs there was a storm of spirits whirlwind of spirits around me, a bunch of voices, and I woke up and made a pot of coffee.
Just, nope.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Ah.
Yeah, horrifying. And it's like part of me wants to see an apparition. And then part of me is like, I don't want to get that scared. I don't want to be that scared. It's like the level of going bungee jumping if you're afraid of heights, which I am. It's like, it sounds fun, sure, which it really doesn't to me, honestly. but you know, there's the actual you're terrifying yourself on purpose.
Yep, exactly.
Like when we're going to be going in the future to haunted locations.
Oh.
It's putting yourself in a place
in a time
where you may be terrified by something. You're doing it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Madness.
That's my fear of heights. It's like I'm terrified of heights, but I love roller coasters. Digression, I want to go UFO hunting so bad.
Oh, you said you're looking into an infrared camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's apparently how you spot them a lot of the time. They're usually cloaked.
Oh man, I'm going to show you a pic. It's the one I've been looking at the most, at least. Because I want to go out here like guns blazing. There she is. And only $5.99.
Very nice.
Right? Decent. The ones they kept trying to sell me were like these $100 ones that hook into like old iPhones. They work, but not at that level, and I kind of want that. Unless we were going out to something like this like soon, and then I had to like just throw $200. That'd be fine. That'd be cool. Still spooked about AI. Never gonna get that monkey off my back. No.
What about it, Walter? I know they destroyed your home world, but it's just
They're coming to destroy ours.
be here now. Be here now, Walter. Would you like to talk about the purple lady for us?
The purple lady? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Purple adornments in their car, purple clothes, purple lipstick, pale purple lipstick, pale skin, just purple everything. Buying scratchers late night. And I had to sell it to her. And she spoke in like the weirdest high-pitched tone ever. And just like very...
Don't.
Very strange. Just weird. I don't know. It wasn't just like the way she looked that made me feel that way, because that's kind of weird. It's the vibes. 100% vibes. 1000% vibes. Just felt off, and she always parked weird. Like playing GTA. that was the purple lady.
Was it one of those things where we kind of looked at each other like, what do you think about that person?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she was human. Yeah, I don't think she was human.
She couldn't be human.
And then I just refused to work with her. Like if she came in and I saw her pulling up, I would disappear. Magically just disapparate, leaving poor Walter from Planet 19 to take care of this customer.
You want the number once again? Oh my lord. And she would play them right at the counter. Move slightly to stage left. To let the next customer through and buy their alcohol and cigarettes, and go right back to center stage. And, alright, either you're unaware or you're aware of somewhere else. The purple lady.
Odd hours of the night, yeah. Just vibes. And that vibe is, I think, what's called high strangeness.
High strangeness. 100%.
Slightly, it's just off and slightly threatening. Sort of atmosphere or scene. Yeah.
So kind of like Synchronicity's demon half brother, High Strangeness.
Good way. Yeah, good way of putting it.
You feel the devil in the air. You're just like, something's off. I'm gonna go pee. Just
I'm
in the coolers. Yeah, let me go wipe down.
be absolutely anywhere but here right now.
Immediately. Yeah, I've never seen her or anyone like that again.
I did hear someone claim that maybe she was a witch, or that she had maybe said something that implied to that person that she was some sort of witch. And there is significance to the color purple in witchcraft, because it's the red is divine masculine, blue is divine feminine. You mix them together, you get purple, the fusion of divine masculine, divine feminine. The unity between the two is like a key aspect to magic and alchemy as well, and spiritual alchemy, combining female and male principles within your mental sphere, I guess. Balancing all poles and polarities and opposites, etc.
As above, so below.
Anywho.
Blessed be.
I'm going to pluck a few things out of my memory from miscellaneous channels, like Beyond Creepy. And my favorite Beyond Creepy video is just titled The Family. Do you remember this one?
The Family. I'm not quite sure. The Family.
House comes up for sale in a suburb, in suburbia. These people move in, 2 kids, husband, wife. They are hermits. They barely leave the house. A neighbor knocks on the door, offers his tiling or plumbing work, because he knows that the previous owners of the house left things broken and in disrepair, like no toilet and anything like that.
Oh, wow.
So he offered his services. The door was just cracked open barely, and he gave them the card, and it was very just awkward and weird and that bad vibe. And I think that was the time when the person said he got a peek into the house, and it looked like they hadn't really moved in much furniture, they hadn't decorated everything, there were still holes in the wall. They had a table that looked like it was put together roughly like from different pieces.
Jeez.
Just like hodgepodge together for the purposes of just having an eating surface.
That's weird. That's very off.
That's very highly strange. And I guess the
stinks of old scratch.
And I'm trying to remember all the details, but I think like the kids didn't go to school. And like these people barely left the house. A person encountered one of them at the grocery store, and they had their cart full of meat products. And he said something. One of the neighbors said something along the lines of, "Hey, you gonna have a barbecue?" And he got this very offended, very serious look.
Oh no! What the fuck?
And he claims he heard hissing.
What?
As if air being forced through teeth, quote unquote.
What the fuck? That's pretty reptilian, if I'm to be honest. That's weird.
The guy's wife mentions, "I saw this lady of these people who just moved in, this family. So this lady, she was chasing a cat around her backyard. And she looked very furious, very angry and frustrated that she couldn't catch this cat. And she had a wig on. Her wig fell off, and she was bald with scaly skin."
What? Ew. What the fuck?
I don't know.
What? They didn't tell anybody else about this. They do. We're living near some probably strange humans at best, and at the worst,
Who are you gonna call? Who are you gonna call?
Fair
Walter?
enough. Fair
Us?
enough.
No.
No.
Okay. And the family moves out at some point, and someone goes inside, and what do they find? Well, they didn't finish moving in, maybe they finished moving in, but they didn't own any furniture, and they didn't buy any furniture. There was like maybe one bare mattress on the floor. There was feces on the floor.
What the?
in the corners of the bathroom area and other parts of the house. Like they were part animal kind of.
Jeez.
Or just had entirely different ways of living from us human folk.
Yeah.
And yeah, the table, I just remembered a detail of the person who knocked on their door and they had the door cracked. It looked like they were eating raw meat.
No. Oh, dear God.
And again, this table that was left behind looked like it was, carved on, and it was just like rudimentary. As if they didn't bother going out to buy a table for whatever reason.
You were weird. You bring your weird kids outside. Oh man, at least they had the decency to try to hide. And try.
There was another Beyond Creepy episode that mentions someone at the grocery store, and they turn a corner and go down an aisle, and they see what looks like this stereotypical gray alien pushing a shopping cart.
Oh wow, yeah.
As if they're already among us, but they're cloaked. So the person panics. There were other people in the aisle. They leave the aisle, obviously. And whenever they look, the person's gone.
Wow.
Or whatever it was is gone.
What? And this is multiple people.
And so these two stories, this kind of opens up this idea, which is kind of played with in the film Men in Black, which segues into our next topic. It's played with in this film Men in Black that, yes, they're already among us. That not only are we not alone, but they're already among us. And they work here, and they live here, and they are like tourists, and, or almost immigrants in some way, and they work here at the post office, apparently.
Yeah. Getting gigs.
And that idea, it's such a great idea to play with.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of hope it's not true.
It would be weird if it was true, but kind of not bad. Because, if some of them are good, maybe they'd be giving us newer inventions and everything, teaching us new things in science. But then you got the other side where there's bounty hunters, and then there's criminals selling human flesh and everything. So, yeah. It's two sides of a very nasty coin.
I'm thinking about the professor, what the professor would say about this. He usually has a pretty dark reply. Whereas you and I, we're pretty, would you say, glass half full people?
Yeah.
And I would say that if I can't believe we were talking about that. But if it is true that they live among us and all that, they can't be all that bad, because I think, I don't know, most of the problems that we all have as human beings living in this world don't have anything to do with someone else who may or may not be an alien. Most of our problems, I think, are just
very Earth-centric.
Earth-centric, and they're also in a large scale, and then, in our own lives, we have our own problems that we create ourselves,
right,
if we're honest. So, yeah. If they live among us, I'm sure they're fine. Hopefully they're fine. Hopefully they're not just biding their time until they get the word. They get the word someday, and then they start their invasion, and things get ugly. things might get ugly, folks. That's what I'm saying. I don't know where I stand, I'm sorry. Are we going to talk about the Men in Black?
No, that was Men in Black, yeah. Wait, the movie?
No. The actual phenomenon of the Men in Black, which predates the film, The Men in Black, which is, like, it's kind of sad, yes. I didn't know that the Men in Black was a thing until I watched the film Men in Black when I was younger. So, yeah, that, it is apparently something that may go back very, very, very far.
Oh, wow.
People have speculated that it goes back into, like, the medieval times, Renaissance times.
The Knights Templar.
Who knows? But initially, they look like feds. I think in some cases, Men in Black cases are attributed to people who were, in fact, feds. But there's this other, corner of this phenomenon where it's like, I don't think that was a fed. Because the guy drank bleach in front of me. That kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What is this? What is this container here? And then he drinks it, and then he hands it to his partner, and the partner drinks it, and finishes it off.
What
is
the
that?
hell?
That's
what?
not.
That's a thing?
That's not a fed. That's something that's
closer
accustomed to a different way of life than we are.
Jeez.
There was one that threatened somebody with a vanishing coin. They showed them a coin, or they had someone, I don't remember if it was they showed the coin, or they had someone hold a coin, and then they said, look at the coin, and then the coin slowly vanishes.
Wow.
Just fades out of existence. And then he says the same thing might happen. He basically implies the same thing might happen to your heart.
Jesus Christ. Whoa. You can threaten somebody pretty hardcore with that. Ah. That's terrifying.
Yeah, and there's all
effective.
there's all these cases of them acting sort of like biomechanical, like robots, like meat puppet robot things that run out of charge. Like they start saying like I'm low on energy, and they start talking slow, and they start moving slow, and they leave.
Wow. So like they might be alien too?
Like saying they are running out of time, energy's low. It just does imply that, well, I don't know, who knows what it implies. It could imply a million things, but one thing I think of is if time travel's real, and if, like we were talking about earlier, the reason they choose this outfit is because it fits in many time periods, then they are time traveling and they only have a limited amount of time or energy. And maybe the energy part is what they are. Maybe they aren't people. They don't have personalities or habits or anything like the sci-fi series Fringe tries to portray. I think they may be sort of like AI controlled soft, what is it called? Wetware.
Oh wow, that'd be yucky.
Yucky, yes. Yeah, well that's one word for it. I remember hearing about Men in Black being dropped off in a cornfield with a car by UFO.
Whoa, okay. That ties in well, but jeez. So they're completely inhuman.
I'm just trying to paint a picture here with all of this stuff that's in my head. All these random memories. Because, as you can see, we have no more outline and we're just kind of running with it.
That's true.
At this point, I don't even know how much time.
The rails on this crazy train.
Oh,
hell yeah!
Almost to an hour. That's pretty good.
Dude, solid. Yeah. That's smooth. That's smooth.
But yeah, what do you think? Do you think they're aliens? Do you think they're time travelers? Do you think they're all feds? What do you think?
I think AI would make sense. There was two versions of AI coming back in time. One that wanted to destroy us, and one that wanted to keep us around. Give them a chance to work things out. No, they're going to destroy the universe. Don't let it spread. It's a disease. And then you got the other one that's just trying to coax humanity all together. You get like weird. I don't know. It could be wetware, because I feel like the most efficient form of AI could be wetware. Like, we're starting to incorporate analog computing with some of our AI too, and we're noticing that that's a lot more efficient than having just a CPU. So yeah.
We have to think about what they do. What is the purpose?
I would imagine trying to guide us to good.
No,
if
I'm
being
saying of the
optimistic.
MIB.
Oh.
So what is the function? You have to, in order to understand what it is, you have to think about, well, what function is it carrying out? What are they doing? Well, they're showing up on people's doorsteps and intimidating them about UFO sightings that sometimes they've never even told a living soul about.
Wow.
So what is that? Is that, not only trying to prevent the word from getting out from you talking to your neighbors about it, or the news about it, or the authorities, or whoever. You don't even tell a living soul when these things show up. It's more like, we're just going to ensure that in this timeline, I'll say, that you don't ever mention this, and so that doesn't lead to another event, which leads to another event, which leads to another event, where you tell someone, they tell someone, etc. The next thing you know, it's being talked about in the Golden Wavelength podcast.
Yep.
Yeah, so they may be editors. I've referred to this before in the Discord. The idea that there are editors on our reality. Terrence McKenna once said, if you look closely, you can see the editors, the fingerprints of editors on our reality.
Wow.
And so sometimes whenever I'm looking through historical events, I see it through that lens, sometimes thinking, how much of this is as it happened naturally, and how much of this is curated, edited. They they don't want certain things to be talked about. They don't want certain things to happen. They'll if there's no war, they might start one. If they need a flood, they might make one.
Possibility.
Etc. I don't know. It's
a wild world.
Where have we gone? Why didn't you stop me, Walter?
It must be. You didn't see anything. Ugh.
Human robot. Oh yeah, we forgot. We forgot to talk about the 23 Enigma.
The 23 Enigma!
Because we do have 23 subscribers, isn't that correct?
We do. Or did it jump to 24?
I'm going to check if it hasn't. I'm going to check if it's gone down. That's what I'm going to do. No, we do have 23 subscribers. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for subscribing. Appreciate it.
So much.
Thank you for listening to our rubbish, our shenanigans, our tomfoolery, our hullabaloo. Okay,
Boulder Dash and Poppycock.
The Boulder Dash and Poppycock. Yes, okay. So, 23. Have you heard about the 23 Enigma, Walter?
I remember the movie the number 23, but I don't know if that's the same.
What that shit?
I shall look it up.
Look up
Lydia.
The 23 Enigma. No, I've already asked her. She doesn't know.
Oh, really? Ooh. This is one that escapes the grasp of great Google.
No, not Google. Lydia doesn't represent.
Well.
Doesn't.
Well. The 23 song. No, the 23 Enigma. Ah. The 23 Enigma is a belief in the significance of the number 23. The concept of the 23 Enigma has been popularized by various books, movies, conspiracy theories, which suggest that the number 23 appears with unusual frequency in various contexts and may be a symbol of some larger hidden significance. A topic related to the 23 Enigma is acoustriophobia, which is the fear of the number 23.
Whoa. There's a phobia term?
Mm-hmm.
I've had that.
Yeah, fair enough. You see it everywhere. That is whoa. Whoa.
Because it was in my driver's license, it was in my phone number, it was in my address, it's in my initials, it's in my birth date, it was in, I mean...
It comes up everywhere. It's like, don't look too close. That's like my friends who freak out in the, what was it, the electrical engineering field, tripped mushrooms once and just, dude, it's all the same, all of it's the same, no, Walter, listen, like, it makes sense, like, all the electrons, I'm like, dude, yeah, it's the same shit we've been talking about since college. Calm down.
It's all electron.
It's all
Oh my...
So calm down.
That's perfect.
Calm down.
The great electron.
Everywhere but here at once.
Hail, the great electron.
Random theory. An electron is just an, there's the one electron theory. That there is only one electron in existence, but it moves so fast and it's beyond temporal fields and it's just one dimension of time and space itself that it exists where it needs to exist, and that's why entanglement's a thing. If you see one electron with an upspin, you know that that electron on the other end of the universe is a downspin. It's weird. It's quantum entanglement. Einstein hated it because he said it was demonic. He said it's spooky action at a distance.
He didn't say demonic.
Not demonic. Not verbatim.
Not everything is demons, Walter.
He thought it was evil though. Like spooky
He said
action.
spooky. You're taking that too
Spooky
far.
actions
No,
at a
no,
distance.
no. I will put my foot down. Einstein. I don't even
So
think Einstein
wrong.
believed in such a thing as demons.
He didn't believe in demons. But he believed in the strange and the unknown.
Spooky. Yeah, so that gets into...
The uncanny valley.
That gets into Lovecraftian.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, what's out there.
Oh, yeah.
You know about the, what is it, Dark Forest? What is it?
Yeah.
Is it called the Dark Forest Hypothesis?
Something like that. Where it's like, other species do exist. Don't shine a light and wave it around because they're hiding too. They might be gunning for you, like you're a hunter lost in a forest. Yeah, well, you represent an entire species or whatever. And you're lost in a forest and other species are out there too. And they're all quiet. Do you wave? Do you shout, hey, let's join together? You don't know who they are. They don't know who you are. What was that?
Hopefully nothing. But I'm gonna debunk it as best as I can right now. I'm gonna say it's too late.
It might be too late.
Not only have quote unquote they already been here, like not only are we not alone, and we've encountered them as a species, as officials, heads of state, etc., in every capacity. And not only that, but they're not only just coming here, but some of them come from here.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the idea of, what do we call it, intraterrestrials.
Yeah.
And I also say interdimensionals or transdimensionals. The idea that through a dimension there is another world overlaid upon our world, and they live there. And perhaps, this is my theory, that when we set off all these atomic weapons, it was like knocking on the door, and I imagine maybe we could have potentially, I'm no physicist, maybe we caused some damage on their side. It's possible. I mean, people have argued for many, many years that all the damage to the natural environment that we're causing on Earth could be affecting some other world that is overlaid upon ours, and that gets into Fae, the good folk. We'll get into that in a future episode.
The good folk.
The good folk. Oh, excuse me, the good folk. Yes. Anyway. But yeah.
That was a great episode.
There were a lot of UFO flaps right after those atomic tests, and I think maybe there were visitors from the world behind our world
Right? And not to mention tachyons are released when like an atomic explosion like that happens.
I didn't know that.
Particles that are travel backwards in time.
Travel backwards through time.
See, if we would have turned the nuclear bomb into a power generator instead of a bomb to kill each other with, we would have been a little further on that type 1, closer to the type 1 civilization.
Yeah, woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda, had a son named didn't. Netta.
What do you say? You want to wrap up this episode?
I say this was perfect. This was great. Doing amazing on time too. Look at that. 110.
Alright, well thank you. Thank you all so very much, all 23 of you,
So
for
much.
listening. I guess a future episode will be covering, what, Sasquatch, the good folk, maybe Antarctica, missing 411, sacred geometry, we're not sure. But yeah, seek out the big picture, connect the dots, question everything, question everyone, and keep digging deeper, folks. Let's listen to it, Walter. Do it. Do the thing.
Yeah.
Do the thing.
Yeah.